Okay, hi everyone. I want to share an idea that can dramatically improve how we manage and debug configuration. Hope you'll enjoy it. I'm Yaara, Head of Developer Experience at Tyke, and after many years as a senior C++ developer in security and banking systems, I'm now focusing on fostering user-centric product development and DX framework to reduce frictions for our users while driving innovative thinking. Let me start with a story from the field. So it was Boxing Day, and an e-commerce client called us and said they have API problems. One of the users couldn't access their few APIs because their keys were not being authorized. They needed our help and fast. So I suggested let's print the key into the log to see what's going on. They needed to set an environment variable and restart. So I sent them the link. They updated it, restarted, and nothing happens. It's very stressful. And after some time of troubleshooting, we actually opened the source code, looked up for what's going on, and we found there was a typo mistake in the documentation. Login, spelled with 2 Gs, and we dropped 1. So what wasted time over one small mistake, and I'm sure it sounds familiar to you. Wouldn't it be nice and simple to just quickly know the exact in-memory value of your configs? Misconfigurations happens all the time, whether it's our own typos, mistaken documentation, outdated configs, or just overly complicated configs. The problem is that you can't always tell what's wrong unless you start adding printouts and recompile, and when you don't have access to the code, you need to do extensive testing that takes even more time. When your system don't offer real-time visibility into their configurations, you're basically left guessing. And this is where our struct viewer package comes in and gives you real-time snapshots of your settings. Do you remember env-config of the Go package of Kelsey Hightower? So this package is just the other way around. It takes Go struct and expose it as an environment variable or config. You just import it and expose two endpoints /m/config, and basically that's it. So here you can see a sample code of a PRI created, and you'll have access in the QR at the end. All you do basically is you create a config, you set up the environment prefix, and you just expose two function handlers. That's all. Here is an example of how we use it. And basically, you call /config. It returns the whole setting in JSON format, and you just using jQuery, you grab the section that you want. In this example here, we're using /env, and we are filtering out. So we get all the environment variables, and we just filter out all the environment variables that have port in their name. So now, let me try to switch to a really quick demo. Okay, it's working. Okay, so so at the top you can see that the gateway is running. It's running from source. Sorry, and now let's first see. That it's okay. It has /allow endpoint just to see that it's fine. And now let's call the /config endpoint here. And I'm using jQuery to edit the format. And you can see, I can't really scroll, but it's the whole config of the gateway. Now, if I want a specific section, so I can call, let's say, streaming. And you can see it here in the output. So now I want actually the environment variable notation to be able to set it. So what I'll do, I'll call the env endpoint, and then I will just jQuery it and then grep stream. So now I can see that I have two environment variables for the two configs. So basically exactly the same. And now there's another cute query param I can use to get more information, and I can call it using the actual specific name. and we can get the full information. So we see the JSON notation, we have environment variable, we have value, we know if it's obfuscated or not, because we also have option to obfuscate secrets. And there's also another option that you can't see here, that you integrate description from the documentation. So now let me switch to my back to my presentation for the last bit. Okay. So let's summarize why config endpoint matters. It boosts the reliability by catching typos and preventing misconfigurations. For debugging, no need for manual checks. On the support side, clients can share configuration instantly and speed up the troubleshooting. You can also get operational visibility. You don't need to check the logs. And from developer experience perspective, it saves you the context switching between documentation and code. As we've seen, having insight into the system is really critical. Without it, we're left in the dark, trying to solve problems we can't see. Our /config concept can give you this invisibility. Try it and let me know if it helps you to see the light. Thanks.